Hello everyone and welcome back to Commonwealth Realm. First and foremost, a big thanks to all of you for helping us reach 235,000 subscribers, which means that we are less than 15,000 subscribers away from the big 250,000, so make sure to like and subscribe. Today, however, we want to go over some secret Nintendo 2020 games that we want to see on the Switch in 2020, or at least to be announced this year. Now then, not counting Pokemon Sword and Shield expansions and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighter Pass Volume 2, Nintendo's 2020 games after Animal Crossing New Horizons are a big mystery. We know literally nothing about what Nintendo is preparing for the console or its respective IPs this year after March 20th. However, with a tad of healthy speculation, past trends and perhaps some wishful thinking, plus the guarantee from Shinya Takahashi.
As for Nintendo Switch, we have more games in development beyond what we've shown you today. I'm looking forward to the day we can introduce them to you.
We think this list could prove quite accurate for a few of the games we bring up. Even so, feel free to comment below on what you think. Let's begin with the usual, Breath of the Wild 2.
The one title everyone wants to come out this year, and thanks to its development, it might as well happen. To keep this quite short, all you need to know about Breath of the Wild 2's development cycle is that it started shortly after the completion of the original game's DLC Pack 2 in November 2017. As such, the game should be 2 years into development, and this is substantial as the sequel is reusing the same game engine, art style, main characters, and open air of Hyrule found in the original. The only real work for the development team is adding new content upon already made assets from the original, which they are highly likely to use here too. So far, we haven't heard any signs of concerns or development issues following E3 2019. This might have to do with the fact that the same experienced team headed by series producer Eiji Aonuma and director Hidemaru Fujibayashi is working on the sequel and that the game is a priority project for Nintendo. Thus, it is quite possible that it might come out this year. In fact, we will have a dedicated and more in-depth video on this topic next week, or if you're watching it after, it's out right here in the video card on screen.
Now then, let's get over to the Nintendo games that are yet to be revealed, but are likely being worked on as we speak, and might come out this year for numerous reasons. And new to the Metroid. Now bear with us, we think our reasoning is sound. Now we all know that Metroid Prime 4's development was restarted in January 2019. Everyone is upset, we know, especially Joseph. However, has anyone stopped to consider that perhaps just maybe this may have been an expected benefit? Since in this case they might be developing a 2D Metroid to replace it since we have to wait for it, well, a few years. We currently have zero information on Prime 4, none, and it will probably stay like that until next year probably. And a new 2D Metroid would be the perfect way to fill the gap and satisfy the appetite of the fans who are eager for anything Metroid at this point, especially since they can't tell anything about Prime 4 itself. Maybe we're speaking from a marketing perspective here, but it really does feel like a gesture of goodwill. Oh, and obviously you have the rumor talking about that this might happen, a way of saying, hey, we know this is frustrating, the studio didn't make it happen, we had to give it to Retro Studios so that they can make the game we wanted, and here's the game to temporarily give you the Metroid fix. Heck, why not create a sequel to Fusion? We've not heard from that since the good old Game Boy Advance days, when we were supposed to get Metroid Dread for the Nintendo DS, do you remember those days? Or perhaps it could be another remake. Many have been talking about a possible Super Metroid remake, which would be incredible since Super Metroid is one of the best games ever made. I think any option would be a good option in this case, and a welcoming move from Nintendo for the Metroid fans no matter what. Of course, we know that we have zero proof of this being a thing, except for that little rumor that's been going around lately, but it's something we would really like to see no matter what. It just makes too much sense to do, given the situation with Prime 4 being in the state it's currently in, that being in early stages of development. Let's hope Retro Studios produces a great final product, and in the meanwhile, we can hopefully enjoy a 2D Metroid.
Pikmin. Where art thou, Pikmin? More specifically, Pikmin 4. Fans have been crying out for a new Pikmin game for the longest time now. We, however, think the time is now right in the year 2020. The waters are still, the winds are biting, and we haven't had a bloody Pikmin game since 2013. 7 long years of hearing absolutely nothing, save for a few rumors that let us all down. Every direct we get, we see the desperate fans in the comments yelling, Pikmin 4! It's time to calm the crowds. With a new console, a new generation, and a fire in our bellies, 2020 should be the year we finally get Pikmin 4. Like Metroid, this is another instance of the timing just being right. Why is Pikmin taking so long? They must have something planned, surely. Well, That's the dream, right? Speculation, when done with proper reasoning, can be productive, and that is what we think we're doing here. We've waited way too long for Pikmin 4 now. Can Nintendo please put us out of our misery in 2020? We think it's possible. One of Nintendo's newest IPs, Splatoon has seen massive success. People were immediately drawn to the unique gameplay, art style, and overall scene that Splatoon cultivated. For a lot of us, it was merely the joy of Nintendo finally creating a new IP, something they rarely ever do. The first game came out in 2015, but was limited by the commercial failure of the Wii U. Then we had Splatoon 2 on the Switch in 2017, and this vastly increased the exposure of the game. It took everything about the original game, improving, and then showing up on one of the most popular consoles of the era. The game is extremely popular in Japan and the West, however, it will soon be 3 years since the last game was released back in 2017, as stated. So in other words, we are due a new game. It was almost exactly 2 years between the release of Splatoon and Splatoon 2, so the timescale seems to work out here too. Now, whilst the opportunity of the Switch may have had Nintendo hurry to put out a new game of the exciting IP, seeking to expand upon the limited customer base of the Wii U in the first instance, 3 years is not a bad cycle development-wise.
In fact, 3 years is pretty much the perfect lifespan for a game like this. Everyone has had their fill, got their money worth of content over the years, and a refreshing new title being released sometime in 2020 would be extremely welcome. We think that due to the success of the series, the development timeframes of the past and the opportunity of fleshing out 2020, that Splatoon 3 is a quite likely possibility for this year. If not for 2020, then at least announced this year. It would be incredible. Never mind, that was a horrible pun. But this thing is not, namely a new IP experience. Continuing on the previous point on our list of Splatoon, Nintendo does extremely well when they finally decide to make new IPs and experiences, though some of them may be a little bit gimmicky. Mario is great, but it does get pretty tiring seeing the plumber being the hero of almost every single game or spin-off that Nintendo develops. We, however, think that in 2020, we could see another new IP or experience being created by Nintendo. Since, if we look at Nintendo's recent history regarding new IPs and experiences, we see that almost every year has a brand new IP. In 2015 we had Splatoon, universally praised but lost so much potential exposure due to the failure of the Wii U. In 2016 we had, well, nothing, it was a big transition year. In 2017 we had ARMS. It did pretty well, making use of the, at the time, new Switch Joy-Cons and served as the true first Joy-Con game experience that was more than just mini-games on the Nintendo Switch. It's still pretty fun to play, even having a competitive scene. Who saw that one coming for the Nintendo Switch? Actually, quite a lot of people. Boxing made kind of sense with the Joy-Cons. Moving on to 2018, we had the Nintendo Labo. A bit of an experiment with cardboard, but the sheer creativity of it all is so impressive that it's hard to look away, especially their attempt with VR, even though the Switch isn't really a VR system. Finally, last year in 2019, we got Ring Fit Adventure, featuring a unique ring controller along with an encouraging exercise turn-based RPG. It received favorable reviews, debuted at number 3 in the UK charts at the time, and even number 1 in the Japanese and South Korean charts as well.
Super Mario Odyssey is one of the best Mario games ever. Taking the conceptual ideas behind Mario 64 of exploration, open world platforming, and finding secrets, Odyssey has done an excellent job of perfecting the formula, even letting you physically become N64 era Mario with an in-game costume. However, the game has now been out for 2 years, and if you've explored everything the game has to offer, as I have myself, you find yourself not often playing the game. A lot of people speculated that Odyssey would receive some form of DLC. The Luigi minigame, although fun, wasn't really enough to classify as such. Given the length of time between now and the game's release, we think it's fair to say that there won't be any DLC coming. However, we do think you can expect a new sequel in 2020. The success of the original is just too much to ignore. Players love open world Mario games, the sales and reviews clearly show this. So, it would just make sense to capitalize on the success of the original. However, let us also consider that new Mario titles are often revealed the same year as when they come out. Every single year has at least one Mario title too. 2015 had Mario Kart 8 and Super Mario Maker. 2016 was the year of Paper Mario Color Splash, 2017 was, of course, Super Mario Odyssey, 2018 brought us Super Mario Party, and finally, 2019 gave us Super Mario Maker 2. That is a pretty good history to base our speculation on. However, we are also equally as likely to receive a new Paper Mario or Mario Kart 2. Let's just hope this game is a Mario Odyssey sequel. You really can't beat it. The game looks amazing, runs at a brilliant smooth 60 FPS, and just... look, it's really good, okay? We want more.
And there you have it, our list of secret Nintendo Switch games that might be coming out this year in 2020. To be fair, we hope that by the end of January we would not need to make a video like this, as we should have had a Nintendo Direct by now. Hopefully it is right around the corner so that we can bring you videos on games we simply don't know if exist yet, aka some of the games we just talked about in this video. Besides, we have a special video coming next week which you don't want to miss out on, or just click in the end card if you're watching this video after they are out. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and a big thank you for 235,000 subscribers. The big push for 250,000 has started, and we might do something if we get there sooner rather than later. If you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and give us a like, and comment down below and subscribe along with hitting that notification bell to not miss out of any future uploads. Additionally, why not check out our Patreon at patreon.com/commonrealm, or join us by pressing the join button with perks here on YouTube. Until the next video that is coming very soon, we'll see you next time on the Common Warfare.